evening. 3 years ago on this very day, I gave birth to an angel. I named her Imogen. She is my daughter. I didn't know just how special and unique this little girl will become. When Imogen was 2 months old, I started attending a mother's group in Wembley. It wasn't until Imogen was 4 months old I realised something was wrong. She was the oldest in the group, only by 1 week, and even though I had no idea about babies, in fact, I had never held a newborn baby until it was my own, I noticed the other babies smiling and interacting with their mothers, yet my baby was not smiling or interacting with me. I felt we didn't have a strong bond. I took her to the child health nurse, where she was referred to undergo a series of tests at Princess Margaret Hospital. This will become our second home away from home. At 11 months old, she was diagnosed with a rare chromosome disorder. This disorder is called 5q14.3 microdeletion syndrome. I have struggled to understand bits and pieces of this syndrome or how to describe it to people, so this is how I have simplified it. We all have 46 chromosomes. They are divided into 2 arms, a short arm P and a long arm Q. 5q14 chromosome deletion syndrome is a deletion of 1 or more genes on the long arm Q of chromosome 5. It is most likely that this has happened by chance, a genetic issue, and nothing Imogen's dad nor I could have done to prevent this. The doctors told us Imogen would not walk or talk. However, there was very little research to prove this. Imogen's microarray results are interpreted according to the current medical knowledge, and they may change with future findings. The doctors also told us that Imogen was the only baby in Australia with this exact diagnosis, as benign copy number variant genes are not reported. Many late nights of research, my findings revealed that there were 6 other families within Australia diagnosed with this exact condition. She remains the only in Perth. I have recently contacted Unique, who are a company based in the UK who provide support and information for families with chromosome disorders. According to Unique's database, there are 40 people in the world with this syndrome. The oldest person is from England and is only 31 years old. There are currently 8 families within Australia, 2 being in Western Australia. I haven't touched base with the other family as they don't want to be contacted. This is completely understandable, as I know just how hard the grieving process is. From here on in, we were referred to the Disability Services Commission. I was completely devastated and a mental wreck, to say the least, as no mother prepares for news quite like this. I had no idea who to ask for help and support, and little information on where to go and what to do. I was handed a pile of paperwork to fill out, and at the bottom was a list of therapy and treatment options. It took me a good 3 to 4 months to even pick up a pen and begin this paperwork. I am a single mother, and at this extremely dark place in my life, it really shows just how much love and support is really around you. Unfortunately for me, it was very minimal when I needed it the most. I felt like my life had ended when only it was just the beginning. It took me approximately 3 months of non-stop crying and grieving. Twice my friend had to help me look after my own child as I was on the floor in a ball and I just couldn't pull myself together. One day I woke up and it suddenly wasn't about me. It was about this precious little life that I had created and finding her the help that she needed. Imogen commenced early intervention at around 18 months of age. She was receiving physiotherapy, speech pathology, and occupational therapy, plus all of her medical appointments at PMH, where she was further diagnosed with epilepsy, global development delay, severe hypertonia or low muscle tone, and visual inattention. As I burst into tears once again, I began to ask myself, what did I do for my child to deserve this? Why does the universe hate me? How could this be possible? But it's not about what, why, or how. She chose me as a mother to guide her and help her through life, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Later that day, I ventured down to the cow parent office at PMH and started to browse through the rack of pamphlets. This is where I picked up a brochure with Carson Street School Conductive Education program written on it. I quickly became intrigued. I thought to myself, what is conductive education? I can now answer that. Conductive education is a process of experiences which leads the person to work with their motor disabilities, moving towards increased independence. It is a system which is primarily suitable for people with neurological conditions. I then called Carson Street School up, told them about Imogen, and a pre-assessment session was organised. A short 2 or 3 weeks later, we had began our first parent and child class in the Conductive Education program. I was deeply saddened to see other kids just like Imogen not have the opportunity of life to walk or talk like you or me. I once had to leave the classroom to shed a tear as after the teachers and the EAs sing the hello song, the kids are encouraged to hit a switch which says their name. This made me really sad knowing that these children may never talk. It choked me up for months on end, but now I know just how good this is, how good the teachers are, how good the assistants are, and that these people really care for our children just as much as the parents do. The support I have received from Carson Street School have been incredible, especially the staff, and I want to thank Shona and Natalie for pointing me in the right direction when the times get tough. Thank you for believing in our children and helping them to make the progress that they are doing and giving them the basic rights that any human deserves. Thank you for understanding just how strong women are of disabled children and giving us the praise and recognition on the days when we need it most. A big thank you. Can we just put our hands together for Natalie and Shona? Carson Street School is where Imogen met her best friends Riley and Musa, who we call the Wolf Pack. And I will meet some of the strongest women ever to enter my life, being Renee Danzo and Joy Fitzgerald, just to name a few, who have been an amazing support system to me, not to mention all the yummy lunches we have been on together and many more to come. When Imogen began at Conductive Education in February 2015, she couldn't sit, she didn't roll, she couldn't mouth objects, and she didn't like her legs. She couldn't hit her switch, and overall she was extremely floppy and struggled to hold her head up without my support. Now we are all in our second year of parent and child class, and my girl, she can sit for a few seconds holding the grass bar in front of her. She loves to roll, and she knows that this is how she gets to where things that she wants are. She mouths her hands, which I assume objects are the next step. She can hit her switch that says her name, and she loves her legs and has begun weight bearing and can tolerate 45 to 50 minutes in her standing frame. And most of all, she has gotten incredibly strong and she can support her own head, and she has gained strength in her trunk to one day sit unassisted without her grasp bar. I have never loved another human as much as I love my own baby, and I'm so glad that she chose me for a mother, as I am a strong, independent woman who has a voice for my child, and I will never ever give up on her, as now we have an unbreakable bond. And for any parent of any disabled child, just remember, if you fail, never give up, because FAIL means first attempt in learning. End is not the end. END means effort never dies. And if you get no as an answer, NO means next opportunity. Positive thinking remains the key. Thank you all for listening.
Well done. Put your hands together for Brooke and also Imogen as well. Brilliant stuff. Very inspirational. Great stuff. Well done, Brooke. Passion. Love it. Rightio. And that gets us to the next stage of the night. And not too far away, our dream team will come around, and we'd love you to buy those tickets to Singapore Airlines and also the raffle tickets and also the silent auction and also the major auction. Right now we're going to ask you to, this is the kids' work, this is the children's work, this is Buy a Dream, the children's artwork auction. And how does it work? Well, I'm going to take you through the process. So basically, what we have here is the artwork inspiration and how the children implemented